All right, friends, today we are starting centimeters and meters. So, as I said before, the centimeters are going to be those smaller measurements on your ruler. Let me see if I can get my ruler focused. There we go. So, on your ruler, you can see that the inches are the bigger measurement, okay? If you look at the other side of the ruler, those numbers that are closer together with smaller spaces, those are centimeters. Okay, so that's what we're going to be working with today. We're going to be working with the smaller measurements. And if you look at your ruler, it should go all the way up to, I think 30. Yep, so it's going to go all the way up to 30 on your ruler. If you're using a yardstick, and you're using the other side, which is the centimeter side, mine only goes up to 91, but a true meter stick should go all the way up to 100. Okay, mine is a yardstick with centimeters marked on the back, but if you have a true meter stick, it's just slightly longer than this, and it goes all the way up to 100. Okay, so I've shrunk our board up a little bit so that my measurements should be close. I don't know if they're going to be the exact same size as the workbook. So if my numbers are off a little bit from what you're getting, don't worry. It's just because I'm on the board and you're in the book. And the page on the board might be a little bigger than the page in the book. So anyway, we're taking a look at this. They wanted us to use the little cubes. We're not at school. We don't have the little cubes. So we're just going to use our actual ruler to measure these. So you're going to put the line all the way to one side. Just before the 0, you'll see a line. That's the starting point. And then go all the way up to the black line for the shuttlecock on the other side. And I can see that it's about 10 centimeters. Again, if you're measuring and yours doesn't look like 10 centimeters, it's probably because you're in the book and I'm on the board. Okay, then we have a ping pong ball. I'm showing that the ping pong ball is about 3 centimeters. Okay, try your golf ball. And I'm showing that the golf ball is about 4 centimeters. And then we have the golf tee. Go ahead and measure that. And the golf tee looks like it's about 5 centimeters. Again, if those numbers are different than what you're getting, your book is a little different than the board. So when we go over these at morning meeting, we'll check and see if my measurements are off because I'm on the board. But basically, you measure the same as you do for inches. It's just you're using the centimeter side of your ruler. Okay, that brings us to page 686. On page 686, they're having us measure these items that are here. And this time they're asking us to measure small things in centimeters and big things in meters. And they're asking us to estimate. So an estimate is a guess. All right, so we're going to guess before we measure. We're going to measure the pencil that's there on the page because we know that the size of pencils change when you sharpen them. So the pencil that I have here is probably very different than the pencil you have at home. It's very different than the one they have on the page because the more we sharpen them, the smaller they get, and so everybody's pencil might be a different size. So we're going to measure the pencil that's on the page. That's what we're going to measure for the pencil. Okay, so from the black line to the black line, oops, that's the inch side. Make sure you're using the centimeter side. It's the one with the lines close together. All right, so when I look at this, I would estimate that that's about 5 centimeters. But now when I actually measure it, it's showing me it's 7 centimeters. So as long as it's close, an estimate is a guess. So as long as my guess is close, that's okay. All right. we're not going to measure the desk in centimeters. We're going to measure it in meters. And I said that the meter stick was just slightly larger than my yardstick. And so I'm going to hold this up to my table. And you can see that my table, if I can get it in focus there, my table is just a little shorter than my meter stick. So I'm going to list my table as being about a meter, and I would have guessed it was about a meter. It can't be much bigger than that, or I wouldn't be able to fit at it. It would be too tall. So the next thing that they have us measure is a Kleenex box. So I'm going to grab my handy dandy Kleenex box. Now when we measure a Kleenex box, it's asking us to guess in centimeters, and that makes sense because if it was a meter, it wouldn't even fit on my table or my desk. So I'm going to use my ruler again with the centimeter side. I'm going to take a look at it first. And I know my ruler has 30 centimeters. The box isn't quite as big. I'm going to guess that it's about 25 centimeters. Okay? And let's actually measure it and see. And again, I wish we were at school because you'd be able to see this better. Okay, I'm putting it at the 0 mark. And I'm measuring all the way over to the other side. And you can see that it's about 23 centimeters. So I was pretty close. I said 25 and it's actually 23. So I was pretty close. All right, on your homework, they're asking you to estimate and then measure. And again, on the homework, I want you to skip number 4. So I'm going to pull that up quickly so we can have a look at it. It's page 687. Okay, and number 4 is asking us to measure a filing cabinet. So we're just going to cross off number 4. All right, the ones that are left, the one is an index card. If you don't have an index card at home, those are the ones with the lines on them. We've used them in Stream for things before. I put your flashcards on them. We use them for around the world math or when we do scoots. So if you don't have one of those at home, just ask Mom or Dad if they could give you a piece of paper that's about that size. There's a popsicle stick there. Okay, again, if you don't have a popsicle stick at home, find something that's about the size of a popsicle stick to measure and just tell me what you measured there, okay? Then it's telling you to measure the height of your door. I'm going to tell you you can measure the bottom part, okay? Unless Mom or Dad wants to help you measure the height, because I know I can't really reach the top of the door, so I'm thinking you won't be able to reach the top of the door either. And then they want you to measure a table. You can go ahead and measure your coffee table or your kitchen table. Just make sure you tell me which one you measured, okay? And on the back, page 688, we have some word problems that have to do with measuring. Keep in mind again that we're doing centimeters and meters for these questions, not inches and yards, okay? Good luck. Give me a call if you need help with this. Send me a message. I'll be happy to meet up with you and help you.